Well, bad behavior on a flight will get you grounded permanently. Delta Airlines CEO announcing passengers who disrespect fellow customers or the crew, they will be banned. Here is the buzz. The executive revealed that the airline has already added over 800 people to its no-fly list, and that's all for refusing to wear mandatory face masks during travel. And recently, Vogue magazine received criticism for featuring Vice President Kamala Harris on its cover using this image. You see it right here on your screen. Well, here's the buzz. Some complained that it was just too casual, and some believed it showed a lack of respect for the vice president. The magazine says it plans to release a new limited edition with a more formal look that will feature Harris in a light blue suit in front of a gold background. And earlier this week, lawmakers announced legislation that will allow the people of Selma to vote on a new name for one of its most famous landmarks, the Edmund Pettus Bridge. Yeah, the iconic bridge was the site of protests in 1965 over the struggle for voting rights for Black Americans and clashes with police that became known as Bloody Sunday. Pettus was a Confederate general who was also a leader of the Alabama chapter of the Ku Klux Klan. And one name that's being considered, you probably guessed it, John Lewis.